This is Dr. Bree, DPT, and I'm coming at you today with my own personal weightlifting routine for the upper body. So a lot of women neglect weightlifting because they're afraid it's going to make them bulk up. But I can promise you this workout is quick, effective, it's going to get all of the major muscle groups in your upper body, and it's going to boost your metabolism, make your bones strong, and you're going to feel great afterwards. Plus, you're going to look better in a tank top. So let's get started and just follow along. I have 5-pound weights and 10-pound weights, but you'll need to use whatever suits your personal needs. And if you have any questions about your ability to lift weights at this time, definitely talk to your healthcare provider. Otherwise, let's get started. All right, the first thing you want to do is stand nice and tall and grounded, feet spread out on the ground, and there's a little freeze frame there. You're zipped up through the core, so your pelvic floor is engaged, your core is strong. Grab those weights. I have my 10 pounds, and we are starting with bicep curls. So keep your elbows close to your sides. The upper arms are still as your forearms move up and down, bending at the elbows, exhaling as you curl up. Really strongly exhale on the exertion phase. All right, switching to an overhead press. So your palms are facing forward. Try to keep your shoulders down as your arms press up. Your knees are still bent. Your core is strong. Do not let your low back arch, and do not lean back as you do this exercise. All right, switching now. Your weights are close together. Don't let your elbow or your shoulders creep up by your ears. You want to keep your shoulders down as you bend at your elbows and exhale as you press those weights up. Again, try to keep your shoulders down. Don't let them creep up toward your ears, and don't let your low back arch. My knees are bent, which you can't see in this, and my tummy is pulled in. Exhale. It's getting hard for me. I'm using two 10-pound weights, which is a little bit much for me. And you can see how my shoulders are creeping up. That's not good. If you need to use lighter weights, please do that. Okay, so knees are strongly bent, abs are pulled in, spine is nice and long, and you're gonna row your weights up. Keep your elbows and your arms close by your sides. And again, exhale as you squeeze the shoulder blades together and pull those elbows straight up and back. So it's a little row, upright row. Squeeze the shoulders and the shoulder blades together as you bring those arms up, bending at the elbows. And down we go. Shake it all out. Let it all go. Big hip circles. Relax. You know I love me some hip circles. We've got to do that. Just loosen everything up between rounds. We're going to reach for our lighter weights next. So I have 5-pound weights. And you will see coming up that 5 pounds is even a little much for me in one of the moves coming up. So the first move we're going to do is a shoulder rotation. You want to keep your arms out to the sides, elbows bent like goalpost arms. Keep your knees soft, your core strong, and exhale as you rotate up. So see how my arms are straight out to the sides, shoulders are down away from my ears. Let it all go, relax, make sure you're still strongly zipped. And again, strongly bend the knees, bend forward. And I'll turn to the side to show you a version of a lat press back or a straight arm extension. You're going to be in that nice, strong through the core position. Knees are bent, and you're just pressing your arms up toward the ceiling. Palms are lifting up toward the ceiling. Down we go. Back to our 10-pound weights, but we're going to do this round on the ground. So very carefully rock yourself down, carefully grab your heavier weights, mine are 10 pounds, and we're going to start with a chest fly. So arms are out, straight out to the sides, 90 degrees, and you're going to, as if you're giving a hug to someone in front of you, hugging the weights and your arms up like you're hugging someone. You're just going to press those weights together and out. Exhale as you press together. Again, it's like you're giving a hug. Make sure your core is strong and your low back is not arching away from the floor. Super key here. When you do this, make sure that the lower back ribs are not arching away from the floor. So now grab one weight with both hands. Core is strong. Straighten your right leg and bring the weight back over your head without letting your low back arch off the ground. So don't let the low back arch off the ground. Keep your lower ribs pulled in. Your back ribs are close to the ground. You don't want to let anything arch. And then we switch legs. So now my left leg is straight out in front of me, and I'm carefully lowering that weight down. Exhaling right now on the way up. So exhaling now on the way up. Keeping that tummy pulled in, and then carefully putting the weight aside. Rock and roll up, and stand all the way up. That might take a couple steps. All right, we're gonna move on to round 2. So similar to what we did before, but slightly different. Grab your heavier weights again. For me, this is 10 pounds, and we're gonna go into a hammer curl. So knees are soft, core is strong, and my palms are rotated toward each other. So it's like my thumbs are up toward the ceiling. And I was just doing a plain hammer curl, but now I just added a squat. Totally optional. Just be sure if you do it that your bottom is sitting way back as you curl. Next, we are going to make sure you're still strong and zipped up. Palms are now facing toward each other instead of the shoulder press we did before where the palms were facing forward. Now palms are facing toward each other, pressing up and down. Exhale on the way up, and make sure that your knees are soft, your core is strong. Do not lean back as you press your arms up, and don't let your back overly arch. You want to be strong and engaged through the core. Protect your spine. Exhale on the way up. Okay, a new kind of tricep move here. Knees strongly bent, core strong, spine straight, and elbows up, and then you're gonna straighten your elbows and come forward. Straighten the elbows. Exhale. Now you see how my palms are right now facing inward, or they were facing inward, but now I'm rotating them. So when I press back, I'm actually rotating my palms up toward the ceiling. Exhale. Always exhale on exertion. All right, shake it out, let it out. And we have just one more move. This is going to be a wide arm row. Think of still drawing your shoulder blades together, but your elbows are pointing outward toward the sides. So elbows are pointing out toward the right and left, and squeeze those shoulder blades together. You might even pause slightly when you're up. You want to exhale and exhale and exhale. Strong through the core. All right, shake it all out. Moving on to the next set of exercises with the lighter weights. So again, 5 pounds or maybe even less. I think 5 pounds is a little much for me in some of these exercises. So you might even want to do a 3 pound or 2 pound. It really depends on where you are. Don't push yourself too hard to the point where it could be hurting you. So we're just doing a straight arm abduction at the shoulder, abduction. So exhale as you bring those straight arms straight out to the side, and then hold it and rotate. Rotate, rotate. Coming from the shoulder, don't let your shoulders hike up toward your ears. You want to keep those arms out to the sides as you rotate. All right, so now bend forward, knees are bent, core is strongly pulled in, and your arms press straight up and back. You're going to exhale as you press. Again, spine is straight, chest is lifted, core is strong, and you exhale. Weights down, come onto the floor, our last round on the ground. So rock and roll back carefully. Grab one weight carefully. You want to roll to your side, grab it and roll over so you don't tweak your back. Now arms are again straight out to your sides, and you're just going to press straight up. So a chest press. Make sure that your lower ribs are not popped up off the ground. You want to keep your core strong, and exhale every time you press up. Just a straight chest press. No hugging this time, just a straight press up and down. Now carefully put the weights down, grab one with your hand, and the exact same thing we did before. Just make sure that your low back does not arch off the ground when you do this. Go nice and slow and exhale as you bring the weight forward. Switch legs. Again, your low back does not arch off the ground, and don't let your lower ribs pop up off the ground. Your back ribs should not pop up off the ground. Keep your ribs pulled in and exhale. That really is a great core exercise. Now this last one we're doing is a little skull crusher move here for the triceps. Just bending at the elbows, going straight down toward your forehead with the weight, and straight up. Straightening and bending at the elbows. All right, weight down carefully and rock and roll up, and just end with some stretches, whatever feels good. You can shake it out, you can press your arm across your body, stretch it out. Okay, so that is the quick strengthening upper body routine that I do. I do it about 2 to 3 times a week. And I've really found that it's made a difference as far as my upper body strength, my endurance. I know it's great for my bone health and my metabolism, all of that stuff. So I want to show you one quick thing that you can modify. If you happen to have a weight bench, that is actually ideal. But if you have a ball, you can also do your chest exercises on the ball so that your arms can go a little lower. Let me show you what I mean. So in the video, I just showed you on the ground, but if you have a weight bench or an exercise ball, your elbows can go a little lower and you can get more range of motion, which is actually better for you. So for example, on the chest exercise that looked like this, your elbows can go a little lower than they could if you were on the floor. Same thing on the chest exercise that looked like this, the press. Your elbows can go a little lower and you can get more range of motion. But, whoa, I know not everybody has exercise balls, so you can also do it on the floor. I use 5 pounds and 10 pounds. I find that works for me, but choose the weight that's best for you. Always start with less and work your way up. And enjoy this. Work at it. It feels so good. It gets your heart rate up too. Again, this has been Dr. Bree, DPT, coming at you with some really great strengthening exercises. I hope you feel fantastic through your whole upper body. And if you want more women's health inspiration and information, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. Come check out my website at FEMFUSIONFITNESS.com. I have a ton of great e-courses and information. You can check out the hip circles, go deeper into the hip circles by checking out thecirclesolution.com, and my book, Lady Bits, which is available on Amazon.com. So many resources and information for you to help love, understand, and connect with your unique, beautiful female body. And as always, I want you to remember to eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.